I'm muted. Damn it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It is time for a recap of Netflix's Love is Blind After the Altar special. I was obsessed with the show when it first came out. And so I, feel like it's long overdue for a season 2, right? Like The Circle season 2 is already out. Too Hot to Handle season 2 is already out. So why is there not yet a season 2 of Love is Blind? We heard about them filming everywhere from Chicago to New York to wherever the heck. And now here we are. We're given 3 episodes and it's not real. Let's get into it. I really want to get into it. Hi, Karina. She says that she got this in her feed randomly as she is starting to watch the episodes. And she feels as though Carlton is a ticking time bomb. Absolutely. That's something that, everyone has seen from him since the show wrapped up. He's toxic, awful to women, narcissistic, mean, and controlling. And everything is always everybody else's fault. Did you notice how he just on a dime flipped on Lauren, who is like the darling of the show, and basically started attacking her when she was trying to give him advice and tell him, if people aren't liking you or aren't feeling you, then they're not meant to be in your life. It's okay. He's like, well, what about you and your right man or whatever? She was like, well, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell is this? Hey, Shan. Shan is the absolute best. I love having her here. Thank you so much for being here and helping out. Fluffy Berry says he's such a problematic person. Like, everyone saw him for who he was and he couldn't handle it. Exactly. I don't want to give the spoiler alert about who does and doesn't show up. I'm going to do episode by episode. So we're just going to recap episode 1 right now, you guys. But spoiler alert, a couple of people don't show up to this big party where everyone has basically another reunion. So this is how they set up the big episode where everyone comes together, okay? And hi, Andrea, by the way, it's so nice to have you here. At the top of the episode, we're all talking about how it's been 2 years since all of these people have gotten married, meaning Lauren and Cameron, Amber and Barnett. By the way, you guys, Amber, I never liked her from the beginning. And after the way she talked to my Elsie, I double don't like her after this special, this 3-episode special. So then we've got Giannina in her apartment where she's got this Oscar award. And I really feel like she genuinely finds herself to be an actress. And I honestly think Damian does as well. Remember the scandals that kind of came out after the show initially aired, which was that people found Damian's acting resume and his agent stuff. The two of them, no one ever really bought them as a couple. I made a couple of videos about are these people seriously in a relationship or are they trolling us? You really start to think that times 10 as the episodes roll on. Hey, Brianna, nice to have you here. Yes, you made it on time. Oh, and I see just a tea, please. Hey, girl, nice to have you here again. So listen, she's got that Oscar on her desk, ready to give the performance of her lifetime. And, she's still continuing to be in a relationship with Damian. I don't know if she really is or not. Remember, I've always been on the fence about these two. I think they know that all the questions and the prying eyes and stuff keep them relevant. So she claims that Damian is her soulmate, but then she admits to her mom that they're having problems when her mom starts trying to pry for a little bit more information. She's like, you're saying one thing, but your face says another thing. I think that there's something going on. And then Giannina does eventually admit to having issues in her relationship with Damian. I gotta say, by the way, you guys, if I'm remembering correctly, her family comes from Argentina. I love when they speak Spanish. They just got the most beautiful accents ever when they speak Spanish, and I love it. So listen, she says, listen, we're having problems and things are messy because it's been 2 years of a relationship and we're both in our late 20s and stuff. We want, the same things in the future, which are marriage and children and stuff. But we're not progressing that way in a relationship, and that we're still not living together. We're not engaged. Again, we're not, on track to get married. So is this the right relationship for me? And so we kind of leave off there and switch over to Lauren and Cameron. So they're setting us up for the rest of the episodes. His family comes over, her family comes over to their home to celebrate her birthday and, pre-celebrate their anniversary. One thing I have to say here, though, is that noticeably absent from this was Lauren's mother, who was just the most adorable person last season. So I'm kind of curious. Was she working? Was something else going on? I don't know. But I was quite curious about why she was not there. Did anyone else kind of wonder that, where Lauren's mom was for this dinner that they had to celebrate Lauren's birthday? Thank you so much, Audrey. It's so nice. And please make sure to hit that like button, everybody, to get this going. So they're having dinner. Cameron cooked the dinner, and then Lauren gets into a little bit of a debate with him about washing the chicken. My question for you guys too is, who washes their chicken before they cook it? Because I always heard that if you wash your chicken before you cook it, you're spreading the germs everywhere. Like if the water bounces off the chicken and then over onto your sink, over onto your countertop, onto this, and then you just scrub it down, like, you know what I mean? You're spreading the salmonella or whatever everywhere. So I personally am team just cook it. The germs are gonna die in the heat anyway. Cook it. Put the lemon on it, and you will be just fine. So that was something kind of funny that they were laughing about. Cameron lied and claimed that he washed the chicken, but she's like, no, you did not. So here's another thing that was quite interesting. It kind of seems to me as though maybe Lauren was not really feeling Jessica, the one that she dubbed the Messica last season. And she's like, because I felt that way because she was kind of making fun of Jessica's voice. Like she was saying something about, is Jessica coming? Oh, well, that's her voice. And then she's like, oh my God, we're going to look like assholes. And then she's like, did we even invite her? Did we not? Like she kind of seemed like she was dreading or not really caring for whether or not Jessica would come to the anniversary party. And I was like, listen, sis, Jessica made last season. You and Cam were cute and all. You guys were a nice relationship and everything, and we love that for you. But Jessica, the Messica, was season 1. We really, really seriously needed her. So you need her to show up to this anniversary party for that juice. I found her energy towards Jessica kind of weird because Mark was the one who was shady. If you guys watched all my recaps of season 1 as it was going on, I was always team Jessica. Mark is your quintessential quote unquote nice guy where they, they're like, oh my God, I just want this. I finished last because I'm short, because I'm this, because I'm that. And then lo and behold, you give them a chance. And what happens? They play you for a damn fool. I think Damian is another one of those quintessential nice guys. The guys who complain that they don't get women for one reason or the other. Women are shallow. They're only caring about this, that, the other. If I had a woman, I would treat her like gold. Then they get one. And what do? They play you for a damn fool. They play you like a damn fiddle. So it also actually seemed like she didn't really care for Mark either because, Cameron was talking about Mark and his fiance having a baby. And then, Lauren's like, yeah, that was so fast. It was like 2 weeks and she was pregnant. And I was like, yes, sis, I am living for the shade. And then at this point, the parents start asking, them, when are you guys going to be having babies? Are babies on your agenda or anything like that? And it turns out that Lauren still is a little bit apprehensive about babies. I believe she's 32 years old at this point. And so she's like, I'm still quite apprehensive, but I do understand that, if this is something that I want, then I do have to, get a move on this. So maybe in the next year or so, which to me is kind of exciting because, they're both beautiful people and they're both lovely people. And so I think they would do such a great job having kids. And then they've got their little dog as well. So I can totally see it. Sorry, I'm going to jump in to see some of your questions. Thank you so much, BW. Thanks for being here. They say, Marquise, that you're not even really supposed to be washing the chicken. The salmonella gets everywhere or whatever. Yeah, they're basically rehashing it, Violette. You know what it really seemed like? It seemed like they were trying to do like The Hills kind of a spinoff. I know we're going to do season 2 with the pods and everything, but I feel like they're also going to do After the Altar as its own spin-off thing, and this was a little bit of a test run. Do you guys think that it's got potential to be a full series on its own after the altar? Because I actually would love to see that. I was very much engrossed in the stories, especially the Damian, Giannina, and Francesca Fargo situation, which we will get into a little bit more later. Another thing I really loved about the dinner between, the Hamiltons was how proud the parents were of how much we all loved Lauren and Cameron. Her dad was like, wow, that made me so freaking proud as a father to see how much, the country and the world loves you guys. They're probably like, listen, we raised good people that like people genuinely love. So, do you guys remember Diamond? She was paired with Carlton, who later came out to her that he was bisexual after they had already gotten engaged and everything. And then it ended with, all that drama, her spilling her drink on him, telling him boy bye as she bounced to the next, what boy and everything. Well, her friend works at the city's hottest car wash. And so, she invited Diamond to come over and meet like this eligible bachelor there. And it was so funny. It was like a car wash lounge situation. And so she already had a boyfriend there, and the boyfriend had a friend who was like, oh, like I saw you across the room and I thought you might be hot. Like it was so scripted. I have to say it was so scripted because initially the friend was like, oh, Diamond, there's someone here hot that I think you'd be into. And then the guy's like, yeah, I just saw you walk in at the bar and I thought you were quite hot. Like, I want to get to know you. Come to find out, that was Ebony from the pod's boyfriend's friend who already had been around Diamond and knew Diamond. Like they kind of like dropped the ball with that fake storyline there. The episode 1 especially is so corny and so staged. If you can get through that, if you haven't seen all 3 episodes yet, you will love episodes 2 and 3. They really start to bring it midway through episode 2. And then episode 3 from start to finish is a freaking powerhouse, you guys. So the guy that Ebony wants to pair Diamond with is named Ramal, and he really hits it off with Diamond. Of course, it's scripted. And, they talk about how they both want to get married and have kids in the future. And of course, most importantly of all, he is a breast man. And he notices that she has at least size C's because he can't go under size C. Much love to the A and B girls, but he is not going lower than a size C. So he's glad that she's got that at the very least. And then we quickly transport over to Amber and Barnett drinking espresso martinis. You know what is so odd, you guys? I have never tried an espresso martini. I feel like I would be like a crackhead if I tried that, like just so jittery, because caffeine already makes me so jittery. I barely drink it. But me on an espresso martini mixed with alcohol, I would be falling off my damn chair. I want to try it. So Barnett jokes that people think that they met at a glory hole because he's like, listen, we didn't know each other, what we looked like before or anything like that. But, we were behind walls and stuff. And so that was the first of many sex jokes from Barnett. Guys, I'm really curious how you felt about Barnett and his sex jokes. They started off cute at first. You're like, oh my God, that's hilarious. That is so... Look, I forgot to put on my earrings. I want to look cute for you guys. That is so hilarious. That is so creative. Why didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? But then it just gets increasingly obnoxious as the episodes go along, to the point where you're kind of like embarrassed for Amber that her husband is making all these degrading jokes about her and them together and just their sex life in general. I was like, okay, dude, calm down. We get it. You have sex, And it reminded me that they were actually like that very early on in the original season of the show. Like there's a time where all the couples meet together at a cabana after they get engaged and stuff. And he's like, oh my God, we're like banging so much. Like this is like, okay, we get it, dude. You know what I mean? So 2 years later, Amber still wants nothing to do with Jessica after Jessica was running around obsessing over her fiance at the time, Barnett, on the show. Keep that in mind. Fiance, she was not married, because apparently if you're not married, it's not cheating. And you got to be an adult if someone you're not married to cheats on you, basically, right? Keep that in mind, because we're going to get into that in episodes 2 and 3. So she's still harboring this grudge from 2 years ago. And I wonder why she doesn't have the smoke for Barnett, because at the end of the day, those conversations would not have continued to happen if Barnett was not entertaining Jessica. He kept sneaking away to talk to Jessica. Wasn't talking to herself. She was talking to your fiance. You know what I mean? What Jessica did was wrong, but Barnett is the one who was engaged to you. And second of all, worst of all, to me, is that Barnett never even gave Amber a heads up about what was going on. Do you remember at their initial reunion special what Amber said? She said that she was furious with Barnett for a very long time. She almost divorced his ass because he didn't even tell her anything about the Jessica situation. And they were married for like a year before all of this stuff aired. They didn't even know if the show was going to make it anywhere. So he thought it was never going to come up. So he never told her anything. And she had to find out when the show aired alongside all of us. If that is not an F-boy, I do not know what is. Like, she really needs to have that energy for her damn husband, because that man is shady with a capital S. And you notice a little bit more about it as the episodes progress. So Lauren, we're back with in their little world. She goes to meet up with Carlton. So that's the scene that I've got right here for you guys. And just to talk about like everything that's going on, you know, the whole anniversary party and everything like that. And Carlton gets her a birthday gift, first of all. And then he's like, you know, I've got an anniversary gift for you guys too. Where is it, Carlton? Where is it? You might as well give it to her now, right? So if you watch the full 3 episodes, you'll get what I mean by that. But, you know, they're just talking and stuff. And, you know, he's really explaining how ostracized he feels by everybody in the cast. And it's like, you know, Carlton, based on the way that you were acting when you were doing your press runs, guys, do you remember his meltdown at the radio station even? His meltdown? Like, he shut down and he was just crying and he refused to answer questions. Like, he was blocking everybody. He would do lives like multiple times a day just to block everybody and just whine about every single thing. You know, it was so much. So of course people decided to distance themselves from him. He was always getting in the middle of everybody else's drama. He got drama with Kelly. He had drama with Ken. He had drama with this person, that person, everybody. So of course, you know, his energy was just so damn dark. And so Lauren tries to tell him, listen, if people aren't feeling you, then it's fine. You know, just make sure that you love you and you're okay with yourself. And that's all you need. And then at that point, Carlton just snaps at her like he normally does with people when they're trying to like calm him down and stuff. He's like, well, what about you? I was always sticking up for you. They put you, you know, this black woman on the show with her white boyfriend or white fiance or whatever, making him look stupid. And I was always defending you guys in the comments. I'm like, when did they make Lauren and Cameron look stupid? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and no one asked you to go in the comments and fight with people. If you're a public figure and people are saying negative things about you, just ignore it and move on. You know, you're not supposed to engage with every little thing. Lauren certainly did not ask him to, and she doesn't do that herself anyway. So it was just, you know, him living for the drama. And so he talks about Diamond as well, like not being into the fact that he is bisexual or whatever. And so he was like, he blamed it on her being black. For the millionth time. He did this before on that radio interview where he, you know, shut down because no one was fueling him and his comments against the quote unquote black community or whatever. He's like, you know, it's in the black community. Bisexual means gay. If you're straight, you can bang everybody, have everybody pregnant, do this, do that, lie about your STDs. But as soon as you're bisexual, you're gay or whatever. And I'm like, really? Stop it. You would have thought that he had learned his lesson by this point, but clearly he did not, you know, and he still takes no responsibility for kind of just waiting until the last minute after the engagement to tell Diamond. They were supposed to really get to know each other to the core at that point. And Diamond still was willing to be engaged to him. Like she said the next morning after he told her, I want to talk to him and let him know that it's okay and I'm still willing to move forward. And he snapped and blew up at her, called her a bitch, and then just said a lot of very degrading things about her. Remember, online, he was being transphobic. He was calling her a man. He's like, I don't know if that's a woman or whatever. He was making fun of her wigs. He was making fun of everything. Like he was really being incredibly low, and he refuses to take responsibility for it whatsoever. You guys, how do you feel about Carlton at this point? You know, like he's just such a freaking mess. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with you guys. Oh, people are coming for me about the chicken, and I see my friend Julie's here, brave of a teach. She goes so hard on her meat. You know, she's like, you got to put the salt, you got to put the lemon, you got to put the whatever to rinse it out. And I'm like, listen, girl, just put it on the heat, and it will clean itself up. Brianna says, I think I can get into this. We all need to see how these kinds of experiments play out over serious time, not just a few months. I agree. I really genuinely hope that this is a long-term situation. And I do hope, though, that it gets a little bit more scripted, because so far it felt very staged and corny. The first episode was quite difficult to get through. Once you get through the midway of episode 2 and then all the way into episode 3, you will love it. Hey, Ramster, thanks so much. It's so nice to see you again. I'm supposed to go to a car wash to find a man. That's what I've been doing wrong. Right, Rebecca? It was a car wash with a lounge inside of it. The way Diamond was like, this is the hottest place in town. Then they pan into her like with her heels walking by people washing cars, going into a car wash or whatever. Oh my God. This is my friend Julie. She's such a good cook. Like, she is amazing. Brave appetit. Thanks, Julie. This is my Shein dress, y'all. It was so cheap. Thanks for all of your compliments, you guys. So listen, at this point, their situation kind of ends. Lauren's like, listen, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to continue going around with this guy. He's a professional victim. Let's move on. So then we get the guys all working out together. We've got Cameron, we've got Damian, and we've got Barnett. And they kind of start talking about sex, of course, right? Because Barnett has sex and he wants to make sure you, your mom, and your grandmama know it. He's like, we're thinking about having babies, but we're not trying to have babies. So basically, they're not using condoms. None of the married men are using condoms at this point. And so they, again, they're still talking about the baby situation. Cameron's like, I'm not going to rush Lauren. She doesn't feel ready for it yet. So that's okay. And Barnett says that he would like to move out of his apartment complex before he has babies with Amber. So this is my question for you guys. Did he really sell his house to pay off Amber's student loans? Because all this time, they had us believe that she paid it off herself. But in this catch-up special, he talks about selling his home to pay off student loans. Then they cut to a clip of Amber talking about all the student loans she has from a school that she never graduated from. Is that interesting? Like, oh my God, he must, honestly, I would feel so much resentment if I sold my home to pay the student loans of my spouse and the housing market became as hot as it is right now. They sold it before the pandemic. And after that pandemic, man, the prices of homes skyrocketed because there was much less supply, right? People were holding on fiercely. So I would be so pissed. I wonder if he's got a little bit of animosity or whatever. And I wonder why he would go and full-blown sell it. Like, why would you not just roll the loans into your mortgage or something like that, or refinance to get the cash out to pay it? And then, you know what I mean? I felt like that wasn't the brightest move, in my humble opinion. I think he could have been a lot more strategic about the student loans. But mind you guys, Barnett did indeed have his own student loans as well. So maybe that was it. So now, as a married couple, I guess for 2 years or something like that, at least a year and a half, they've been living together in an apartment with the dog, a big dog, and Amber's roommate as well. I feel like this is a testament to how strong their relationship might be, because I personally could not do that. To have a roommate as a married couple, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So God bless them. And I wonder, what the next kind of chapter looks like for them. I do believe that they will ultimately end up having kids together. So that's going to be quite interesting to see their kids and home life. So again, and then we get to Damian. Damian is so strange, you guys. He's like, I want a lot of kids, but me and Giannina aren't really married. And so the guys ask, like, well, do you see that for yourselves? Whatever. And he doesn't really answer the question, but he essentially makes it kind of clear that he doesn't really see a forever relationship with Giannina, which pisses me off, because it's like, you don't see a forever relationship with her. And here she is telling us that you're her soulmate, you're her person. She's crying over how much she loves you and stuff. Like, it's just so mean to waste a woman's time like that. Just like bookmark a huge section of her life. As a woman in her late 20s wanting marriage and kids, it's not fair to take up her time. But at the same time, it's like, listen, sis, just pay attention to the way this guy is treating you. Like, you know what I mean? You're kind of also wasting your own time at the end of the day. Barnett says as much too. He's like, listen, I'm going to say this. I don't understand their relationship, but I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to get into trouble. And then next, you guys, we actually get into Elsie. I've always loved Elsie. I think she's so beautiful. She's got like the most big, beautiful, bright blue eyes, beautiful, bright red lipstick, smile, perfect teeth and everything. She just is so bubbly and everything. So it makes me quite surprised that she's having a difficult time finding somebody to settle down with. But maybe it's just her energy. She did come across, I don't want to be rude to her, but a little bit much, a little bit like aggressive in her pursuit of a man as the party rolls around. So she talks about getting dumped by Barnett, being in that love triangle and just having bad luck dating in general. And so she goes out for drinks with Diamond and Giannina and Jessica. And these girls were dressed to the nines, y'all, especially Diamond and Jessica. Diamond had this beautiful Bordeaux red outfit, complete with a cute little hat and everything. Jessica had what looked like a Chanel red and blue tweed jacket. Of course, it was not Chanel, but like it looked, it was like that kind of a vibe that I seriously loved. And they just all look like so much fun, so chic and everything. And at that point, Giannina claims that Damian got better in bed. They had to ask her because you guys remember that embarrassing ass scene where Damian's in the bedroom and Giannina's in the kitchen and she's like, you know how you always tell me this is the best sex of your life? Do you ever notice that I don't return the compliment? Well, come to find out, he decided to step up to the plate and he started D'ing her down just the way she likes it. So hallelujah to her for that. But she doesn't say that it's the best of her life. So that, awkwardness still kind of stands there. And so she talks about how she and Damian are talking about maybe moving in together 2 years in, with the man being 27 years old, herself being like the man being 29, herself being 27, 28. I kind of feel like after this long, at this age, you gotta SHIT or get off the pot, unless it's one of those relationships where you're kind of like, well, I don't ever want to move in with somebody before I get married, because that's just like a principle that I hold. If that's your thing, whatever. But neither of them have this principle. So, you know what I mean? And they were already engaged and everything. So to me, this 2-year situation, you know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. So Diamond is not feeling it either. So we already heard Barnett's opinion about this relationship being dead end. And now Diamond's like, listen, Gigi, she was saying this to us in her confessional. She's like, I think she can get out there. She's hot. She can beg a soccer player, like a professional soccer player, somebody, she really wants her to do better than Damian. And I am so with her. Giannina is beautiful. She dresses well. She's successful. Well, she can do better than someone who just strings her along like this, but of course, Giannina is just defending the hell out of her relationship, talking about how she's so in love with Damian, who's obviously just wasting her time. But at the same time, remember, you guys, she's got an Oscar on her bedroom table. So I don't know that I believe this is a real relationship. Remember, they didn't even quarantine together. They just stayed in their respective apartments, at least like stay a week or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a pandemic couple. Like here in France, we were locked in our homes for 23 hours a day. So if you're dating somebody, and you only have 1 hour a day to get out of your house, like it kind of, speeds up the process a little bit, and then after that, we had our curfew where you had to not be out of your house after like 6 or 7 o'clock or something like that for months as well. So it's like, well, what are you going to do? If you're in this kind of a situation and you're still not really making those steps forwards, I don't know what that means about your relationship. But in my opinion, Anyway, on to more reasonable relationships here. Jessica is in a happy relationship with her new boyfriend, who's a very handsome orthopedic surgeon. And I'm so happy she found a man who's age appropriate for her and in her success range. Remember, Jessica, she does technology. I think she's a project manager or something like that in the technology field. She owns a very beautiful home in Atlanta. She's a woman of a particular age as well. So being with Mark never made sense to me. I don't know how she even fell for him just talking to him. He was much younger than her. Remember, he was a personal trainer, which there's nothing wrong with, but he was a personal trainer just getting into it. And so, as a result of that and him being young, he was still living with roommates. He only had we had one brown pillow or something like that. The bedding was very depressing. He just was not in the same stage of a life as her. When you're a woman, I personally feel, maybe I'm a little bit old school in this, you kind of need a man to be on your level or higher. I typically feel but everybody's different. But I feel like Jessica felt that way as well. It's listen, she's got this whole life, a grown woman life. And this guy is just, starting to get into the whole adult thing. So it was just always to me, the scales were not tipped in their favor. So unfortunately, Mark decided he did not want to go to the anniversary party where everybody was going to be. I think he kind of realized at that point that, listen, everybody knows that I'm a mess. I've been cheating on Elsie. I was cheating on Jessica, and I was cheating on my baby mama as well. And he did not want to answer for any of that, And so that didn't surprise me though, because listen, what are you going to say? when all of these people have the same story about you? Do you really think anyone's going to believe that all of these women are lying? I mean, come on. Hell no, you guys. No way, no how. So Elsie admits to hooking up with Mark, and then Jess jokes about the two of them liking the same guys. And she's like, so I'm not going to introduce her to my new man, which is funny because remember, they were in a love triangle with Barnett together. And then Jessica was engaged to Mark. And then after that, Elsie was banging Mark and catching COVID from Mark. So yeah, Jessica, it's a good idea not to let her around your new man. That's not to say that Elsie is trifling. She tried to go for him or anything like that, but it's like, y'all's taste is a little bit too similar, okay? And so Elsie mentioned that she learned that Mark was cheating on her with this girl that he's got pregnant now, or a baby by now because she gave birth. She found out about it on Reddit. This girl's sister or whatever went online and shared a photo of them all hugged up, being like, oh my God, like my friend is dating Mark from Love is Blind. And then Elsie is like, wait a minute, that's my boyfriend. What the hell is this? And, I have to say, I feel horrible to learn that Elsie was treated that way and that she was gaslit so badly by Mark. She's like, he was explicitly telling me that he doesn't want to date around multiple people. He wants to settle down and this and that and give our relationship a shot. We were in a relationship. He told me we were. And like when she, confronted him about it, he made it seem like, no, Elsie, like, come on. We were just like seeing it was like we're starting to talk to each other. It's nothing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people were trying to make her feel that way as well. We get into that a little bit more. Like this comes up again in episode 2. It's just so sad. She's a very beautiful girl and she seems like a genuinely kind person. So it sucks to see her constantly get like this kind of bad luck. You know what I mean? She also talked about how she DM'd the other woman that Mark was with in Florida. Mind you, Mark, his trifling ass had her drive him to Florida where he met up with this other woman. And so she's like, I DM'd her like a paragraph and she read it, but she never responded, and Jess is like, listen, I'm not surprised because there was a time when I couldn't get in touch with him when we were engaged and planning our wedding and everything. And he claimed to have been out to lunch with somebody, but it was 6 hours. And then when she confronted him about it later, he was like, I was having a conversation with my friend. Her dad just died. And so like she needed somebody to talk to. I'm like, please, I don't believe the story at all. I believe that he was just on a date with someone or sleeping with somebody or something like that. And that's basically what happened, And then it also turned out that he was dating multiple women at the time. So the man at this point, it really seems like he just gets around and, passing around COVID. Who knows what else is going on over there? Bless the girl who got knocked up by him. I would be too damn scared of a man like that. So your comments stopped coming in on my StreamYard, by the way, you guys. So let me just check. Oh, here, it just loaded. Brave FPT says, yeah, it's not Gigi wasting her youth on Damian. I know, it's so sad to see. Andrea says, I don't get why the Oscar is on the bedside table because she needs to see it every morning when she wakes up, every night when she goes to bed. So she knows to give the performance of her lifetime and pretend that she is genuinely dating this Damian character. Hey, Misha, nice to see you. I love your baby and your picture. He's such a little cutie. Mark thought he could move undetected by the fans, but Grace said, not on my watch. Right? We were on him like white on rice. Andrea says he is for the streets. He is. Mark is a whole ASS thought. He really is. Oh my goodness gracious. And speaking of thoughts, by the way, and those nice guys who always turn out to be like assholes, we've got Damian. He shows off his new Porsche. He's like, I just got this Porsche to represent what I'm into. I like things that are sexy. I want to say things that are nasty, but that's just too much. This guy he reminds me of Toby from The Office. It's like if people from The Office suddenly started talking to Toby or he landed like a Pam or whatever, he wouldn't know how to act, kind of like Damian. And so he pulls up to the curb and then we see this chick, curb of a restaurant or whatever. And then there's this chick, very tight pants, and then a barely there top with her boobies out. And of course, it's thirsty ass Francesca from Too Hot to Handle and her fried extensions just standing there ready to wreak havoc. That woman, her Harry from Too Hot to Handle are some of the most insufferable reality television stars I've ever seen in my freaking life. Every time my skin crawls when I see a headline with them or see them anywhere. They're just so thirsty and blatant about it that it's just, I'm embarrassed for them. You know what I mean? Oh my God. How did you guys feel about Francesca making an appearance just with Damian? Nonetheless, do you guys remember there was a time when she and Damian were holding hands, coming in and out of restaurants as usual? She was walking around with her boobies out. Like they were just looking so thirsty for attention. And then people were like, did Damian and Giannina break up? Like, is he cheating on her? Like, what's going on and stuff? And it was like, okay, like, obviously they're all just fishing for attention, including Giannina. I think she's in on this, you guys. Instapot thought says Gigi needs to keep it pushing. Damian isn't even cute like that. Here's the thing about men like Damian, okay? You give them a chance, all of a sudden they start treating you like they're the cute one in the relationship, doing you a favor. You know, girls always go, you know, like, I want to go for a guy who's just like, you know, regular, like, you know, like a guy next door, even though like the woman is a smoke show and just so successful in her own right. They're like, this is safe, you know, like he'll see, you know, that I'm a bad bitch and take good care. No, he's going to start treating you like he's the catch. Brave Appetit says, Mark's got that community D. Ain't that the damn truth? He absolutely he absolutely does. And he's not even going to answer to it. You know, he's just going to pretend that it didn't happen. Jennifer says, he's not at all. I don't get it. Gigi's gorgeous. Right. Again, the only explanation I've got for this is that they're both doing this for the attention because listen, they didn't get married, right? So if they just ignored each other like Kelly and Kenny did, they would fade into irrelevancy the way that Kelly and Kenny did. But because they're still got this, you know, are they together? Are they not kind of cloud of doubt over their relationship and stuff? And it's still buzzworthy for lack of a better word. Yeah. They're still relevant. And I think that that's what they want. I think that Love is Blind is going to have an After the Altar thing as its own standalone show on Netflix where it's going to follow Lauren and Cam. It's going to follow Giannina and Damian. And it's going to follow Amber and Barnett. And they want a piece of that pie. So they're not going to let up. I hope she's got a man on the side. I really, truly do, you know? So listen, at this point, by the way, when we see Francesca, her thirsty ass, I almost turned off the show and abandoned ship because it already felt so staged. Did you guys get that vibe too? That it felt so incredibly staged? It really did. I was like, God, can I really you know what? I'm committed to this show for my people. I already started last year recapping this. I'm not going to quit now. So I suck it up and keep pushing forward. And I'm glad I did. If you watch this and you're still on episode 1 or you just finished it and you're iffy about it, keep going. Push through. Midway through episode 2, there's a turning point. And then from there, it's just wow. And you want more. I got to say, regretfully, Damian really snapped and carried this show on his freaking back. He did. He honestly did, I have to say. It was at Giannina's expense, which I don't like. And we're going to get into that later in the other recaps. But he snapped and he really did what needed to be done to make this show at least a little bit interesting, okay? So listen, he and Francesca sit down together, you know, and her boobs as well, out on the table. And he's like, oh, you look so beautiful, you know, blah, blah, blah. Do you work out or whatever? She's like, no, I never work out. He's like, oh, so you just wake up looking like that? And she's like, and by the way, she kept petting her hair. Let's do it on this side, okay? She's like, stop. Stop. What about you, Damian? And then she goes for his, this is his arm. And then she goes for his arm and she just starts stroking it and stuff. She's like, look at your muscles, Damian. You know, and it's just so corny, you guys. It is so corny. And then Damian does his confessional. This is Toby from The Office, okay? And he's like, you know, being around Francesca just makes me feel like good, confident, special, you know, like I just love being around her. And I was like, okay, Toby, tell me you have low self-esteem without telling me you have low self-esteem. You've got a whole ass girlfriend, okay? And this is how you're talking about the next woman, you know, like go talk to your girlfriend about how you need to feel special and whatever the hell other things, you know, like how do you think she feels? Do you think she feels confident and special knowing that you are out here thoughting and bopping with Francesca and her boobs from Too Hot to Handle? Come on, man. Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway, you guys, that is the clip. You guys are like, oh my God, that's so funny. Thanks, you guys. It was so funny. That scene was absolutely hilarious. So yeah, that's basically the cliffhanger. At that point, you're kind of like, oh, Francesca's here. What's gonna happen with her and Damian? Is Damian going to dump Giannina for her? Like, what's going on? So that's when you kind of start to go, okay, I think I can get with this. I think I could see what is so interesting about this show. Guys, what do you think? What do you think? Did we like it? Did we like it? Again, episode 1 was a little bit struggling, but once we get into episodes 2 and 3, I'm going to give you guys some time because remember, I'm 6 hours ahead of the most of you out here. So if you're on Eastern Standard Time, I'm 6 hours ahead of you. So, I was binging this while you guys were probably asleep or something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me do a recap of episodes 2 and 3 tomorrow. Give you guys some time to binge watch everything, and then we'll really, truly get into some of this tea. So let me go back and see some of your comments that I might have missed. Yeah, I am Shan. I am snatching Gigi's Oscar at this point, you guys. I absolutely am. She's putting on the performance of her life, pretending to be into him. Yeah. Both Giannina and Francesca really, oh my God, they had to dig down deep to pretend that they wanted to fight over this man. Oh my God. Freddie, though, let's not forget when Damian asked her to come, she asked as a date or as a friend, like, don't play us. Right. And the way he, you guys get into episodes 2 and 3. Get into episodes 2 and 3 because we need to talk about what happens at this damn party. So yes, just like Freddie says, actually no, this doesn't happen in this episode. It happens in episode 2. So I'm going to get into that with you later, but oh my God, he really had no damn shame. Instapot Thought says, what about Jessica giving that gift? I was crying at Barnett's response. Episode 3. I'm going to get into that in my episode 3 recap. So don't even worry. Ramsey, yes, please catch up on the show. I'm going to talk about it again today. I'm really, really excited to get into it. It gets better and better and better. Oh, would you look at that? Damian is no longer following Francesca. I wonder what happened. Lou says, hi Grace, you speak French? Oui, je parle français. What is this? Caps lock accident. No worries. And Francesca isn't following Damian either. I guess, listen, their PR contract ran out together. So that's what it was. I don't believe that Francesca was really into him. No. Francesca, I think, will hitch her wagon to anybody that can give her a little bit of attention, and we have not seen the last of her or her fried extensions. Season 2, Insania, that's the thing that was bothering me. Like, season 2 should have been here by now. Too Hot to Handle came out after their season 2 came out. The Circle had a season 2 already. Like, what's going on? What is taking so damn long? At one point, we were hearing about them casting in Chicago and New York. And then, the people who made Love is Blind actually have another show coming out soon. It's about expat love, which is quite interesting. I told my friend, try it out. So they're casting for it now. And it's like, you fill out this questionnaire, you see where you live and where you'd be open to dating someone from. So for example, if you're Canadian, like I was, or American or whatever, you say, I live here and I'm interested in dating people from this country. So maybe it's France, maybe it's Italy, maybe it's Germany, maybe it's, I don't know, Kenya, maybe it's Tanzania. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's what they're working on as well. They've got the time to do all these things, but not drop that damn season 2. Get off my lawn. What is a new episode? So yeah, they've got 3 new episodes, May. 3 new episodes of Love is Blind. It's called Love is Blind After the Altar. So if you go on Netflix, click on Love is Blind, just more episodes, go to the very bottom. There's 3 new episodes. Please get into them. I'm recapping the next 2 episodes tomorrow, and I really want to get your thoughts on them. I need more of this show. I loved all of it, right? They absolutely have to make it a spinoff, Bella. Gigi's following Damian. Yeah, I went to look on that. I was like, Giannina, please have some pride. Please have some. Look in the mirror and look at how damn beautiful you are. Turn your camera on to 0.3 and tell me you don't look like a bad bitch. Yes, it absolutely is a PR contract, Andrea. I am telling you. Thanks so much, Bella. Thank you. And we do need a season 2. Hurry it up, you guys. My friend Julie, she says, okay, let me watch the episode. I don't believe Damian cardboard personality carried the show. I know, that's what surprised me. He really put it on his damn back, y'all. He said, I'm going to do what needs to be done. Yes, thank you, Bella, for letting them know. 3 episodes. Thank you so much, Shannon. I love having you here, girl. Meg, yes, please run, don't walk, and watch that those new 3 episodes. Damian is very milquetoast, right? I mean, come on. But listen, he snaps, you guys. He absolutely snaps. Campfire is here. Hey, Campfire. You know, I was talking to him earlier. I texted him and I'm like, have you watched this yet? Because I'm going to do recaps of this and I want you to hop on, give your opinions. So I think he's watching it tonight. Well, I'm going to be asleep because, again, I'm 6 hours ahead. And so I'm hoping to have him on tomorrow so we could bounce off. Campfire, please join me tomorrow so we can bounce off of episodes 2 and 3 because that was, wow. Amber, I never liked Amber, but she really showed me why I do not like her. Well, you're not married. You're not married. Like, what? She is a damn mess. Yes. I love that you guys tuned into this, even though you haven't watched the other episodes. It makes me so happy that this is a little bit of a teaser. Bella, get out of here. You wanted more of Carlton? Out. He is so insufferable. What do you mean? He's awful. I'm happy we got, as little as we did of him because that man, he's just too much for me. I'm sorry, you guys, but this is all I needed. This little clip of him and I'm good. I'm good for the next 5 years on Carlton. Hey, Bree, love you too. So excited to watch the show and your videos. Thank you. Oh, wait, Campfire says that he's watching it and getting caught up. Yay! I'm so excited. And thank you so much, Felicia. Yeah, Bella's like, Amber was so aggressive. She was for no reason. Amber's I'm not like the other girls. I only hang out with guys. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised by her demeanor at all. But she really took it to a whole new level. I was so done with her. I'm tired of Carlton always fighting with Black women. That's the thing. That's the only people he'll fight with is Black women. And he's just, oh my God, I can't with that guy. Oh, okay. I'm glad you can't stand Carlton either, Campfire. Oh God. It seems to that is the general consensus about him. He's just not really a likable person in any way, shape, or form. Celeste is like, he is the worst. Oh my God, Freddie liked Amber more. Well, you know what? Let's talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. Then we'll get all the different sides going. And she is a pick me. That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, pick me, Sha. Calm down. Calm down. I don't want to give too much away. I almost said it, but okay. You guys, thank you so much for chatting with me. Listen, tomorrow we're going to recap episodes 2 and 3. I will hopefully have Campfire here. Keep our fingers crossed. And please catch the new 3 episodes of Love is Blind ASAP. And we'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. I would love to go live around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when you guys are having lunch or something like that, or around this time again. I'm not positive. We'll kind of work things out and talk a little bit more tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for being here, as always, and I will see you in my next video. Listen, I'm trying to up the production value around here, you guys, so let me put a little bit of an outro thing going, okay, you guys? Take care, everybody.